Hi everyone, this is audap. Let's continue our game of The Legend of Heroes, Trails into Reverie, running on PlayStation 5.
As for the hottest thing on Vesta Street, nothing holds a candle to Lafitte. Come on, you'll see what I mean once we poke our heads inside. I hope so. The name doesn't tell me much, but I give it 83 points.
I have no idea what the former Governor General is thinking with his United Nations nonsense. He all struck me as a bit more realist, which makes the sudden change in him somehow unsettling. Who knows how the Republic is going to react? I can see them moving to take him down and using that as an excuse to claim Crossbell as their own. And we don't have the power to keep them in line right now either. What a stressful time to be alive. I took an exam entrance for one of the country's famous academies last month. And would you believe it? I got in first try. It feels like just yesterday I was panicking over getting conscripted into the war. I'm glad I didn't give up on my studies. Though now isn't the time to rest on my laurels. I've got to keep hitting the books so I can hit the ground running when I enroll. Which is why the elder statesmen among the nobility are currently so bewildered. Right, one can't help but think that the declaration was to provoke the Empire. The nobles who championed the former Governor General must be at wit's end. My thoughts exactly. Not to mention that there are supposedly several of our fellow Thor's alumni who have been caught out by all of this. That said, they have survived the Civil War and the Great War. I'm sure they're doing just fine, and are thinking of how to resolve the situation. Agreed. If anyone can hold their own under such pressure, it's Alyssa. What about you, Ferris? How are things all going on your end? I use my connections to look into things, but even the armored divisions are having trouble securing information. It's hard to find crumbs these days, with the intelligence division being reorganized. That's what I gathered as well. I tried kicking up info as I sent flowers courtesy to the Dresden family. A lot of Erebonians are still unhappy with how the war ended. My apologies. All this gloom has given me quite the appetite. I should have known. No need to hold back then. Order as much as you want. Thank you, my dear Vincent. I'll take you up on that kind offer. Pardon me. 30 more plates of special tomato curry. Okay, she even looks bigger. Bon appetit. Come now, darling, let's eat. Or would you prefer to feed me instead? That is tempting, but I couldn't, my sweet. Still taking time getting used to this side of her. If I simply think of it as her being filled with the joy of eating, then this side of her is somewhat cute, perhaps? My word, how long are the two of you going to be like this? Hey, Nadia, did you see that? Can I change forms if I eat that much too? Heck no, and that's not any sort of power I'm familiar with. Okay, I guess it was worth it just to see that. I wasn't sure coming in here would be a good idea. What are you up to, Kathy? Another day, another round of room cleaning under my belt. Everything's all spick and span now. We've had lots more guests in town on business than pleasure lately. Must be stressful to travel for work. I do my best to make sure the bedding is extra soft so I can relax here. I offer my coffee here at the stall out in front of the inn by itself also sells snacks. I'm going to have him shot, but I'm going to give him a shot. I have a mountain of work to get through and I need something to power me through it. I lost something a while back, but the Bracer Guild found it for me. They really are lifesavers. They'll take on just about any job, however big or small. I hear they're always overwhelmed due to being short-staffed, though. Maybe I should take them something nice as a thank you. No trip to Hambler will be complete without a stop at this excellent bakery. According to whoever wrote the guide. Humans die if they don't go too long without food, don't they? That sounds very inconvenient. We do, but we don't just eat to survive. We do it because it's fun. Food is an art. How is it an art? You're confusing me. Maybe it's just one of those things that goes over a doll's head. Barkeep, 1 bread mishi and a drink. I'm not a barkeeper, but you got it. Would you like that here or to go? For here, please. To where else can this weary soul go to find solace from the cruel bustle of city life? Then this here, boulangerie. Boulangerie? I'm honored you like it here so much, miss. What did all that stuff you said mean? Nothing. I've just always wanted to say something cool like that. What's up? Nothing. No, gee. Want a bite? As a cutting-edge Rosenberg doll, I can convert septium into energy. I have no need for food. Okay, then. You sure you don't want a bite? I really want one. No. What do you think? I'm not familiar with what tastes go with what words, but... This is really good. Success. So, you got taste buds. I suppose I do. Even if I didn't realize I had them. Rosenberg technology can't be beat. And now that I know... Yeah? I want to have some more. Let's get some food in you then. I'll order a variety so you can try different flavors. Yay! Oh, jeez, what the heck. I can't believe you tore through their whole menu. You must have a portal for a stomach. I think I understand what you meant before, Nadia. Eating food is an art. You may not understand as well as you think. Well, let's pay the bill and move on to the next place, okay? Nadia and Lapis can now tour the Garnier district. Okay.
Probably head to our next stop, the Garnier district. But I want to eat more bread. Don't sweat it. There's plenty more treats to be tried for your bottomless stomach.
Looks like they're hiking up the taxes big time in Lamar. I might just have to drop our order down to 8 boxes from now on. Confident penciling. Whoa, look at her go. That's a real pro right there. Oh my, how could you have missed such adorable customers? I often import stock from other regions to fulfill requests, but the situation as it stands now has made it difficult. It's not just money problems on my mind either. My niece is over in Crossbell. How can I not be stressed? Stress does nothing to help the situation, though. The best I can do is believe and take care of what is in my purview. You're both just the cutest little things. Are you running an errand? You asked me if there's anything you need, okay? Yes, ma'am. I shall happily request your assistance. Now, is there something up here? Oh, this is a big place. What the heck? I mean, they didn't need to build it this big. What goes on here exactly? I know Toa's likely fine, but with how much things have gotten out of hand. Sorry, welcome to Herschel's. Actually, if you don't mind, my niece has gotten herself caught in that mess over in Crossbell. I know she can handle herself just fine, but I can't help but think about if she's alright. Then why worry? If you think she can handle herself just fine, then she must be fine. Thanks, miss. That means a lot. Alright, need to keep focusing during work hours. If there's anything in particular you're looking for, let me know. Yeah, that was a surprisingly large building. Underground. My quiet neighborhood. Those are the same soldiers who were after that case, so the Imperial Army is in on this. I suspected we would find them here. You finished transporting all the goods to their destination? Indeed, preparation is not complete. What happens now hinges on the efforts of you and your comrades tomorrow. You've got nothing to worry about there. We're not just going to roll over and let our division cease to exist. Vandik and Resnus are going to pay dearly for their cowardice. The Supreme Leader is looking forward to seeing what you can do. We'll restore the Empire to its former glory and crush the loathsome Republic once and for all. Should we strike now? No. There seems to be a rather lot of them. We wouldn't want our real targets slipping away in the ensuing bedlam either. I have some more suitable candidates in mind to take care of this. Heimdallr, Garnier District. We're really going to visit all the districts? Okay. Hey, Nadia, what's next? What are we going to eat now? Since when did the boss tell us to go on some gourmet tour across the city? Can't we? I can tell you don't care much about gathering intelligence anyway. Let's leave the real work to them so we can have fun. Now you're speaking my language. But if we try something at every spot, I'm going to go broke as a joke. Oh well, I'll just make Mask reimburse me. Call it a business expense. So let's make it happen, LP. We'll hit the town and stuff ourselves with good eats from one corner to the other. I read the guidebook, so I'll lead the way to the best spots to hit up. Yay, food time! I'm glad you like it here. Who knows what's going to happen in Crossbell? All we can do is hope we can finally visit MWL one of these days. Welcome to De Himmel. Afraid the dining area is currently fully reserved, but you're welcome to use all of our other facilities. I dearly hope you will enjoy your visit. Dearly. Clearly. Welcome to De Himmel. Are you looking for a room, perchance? We have rooms that come with amenities for children to make your stay a pleasant one. We offer rooms to suit all kinds of guests. I'm sure we have something that will suit your needs. Children? Are you implying I'm a baby? I'll have you know I'm a state-of-the-art Rosenberg We know, LP, but no one else needs to. It's been an eventful half year since we met, Count Richmond. Indeed, it was quite the sight seeing those conservative nobles try to act like they owned Erebonia after Osborne's passing. Well, those who fail to keep up with the times will always be left behind. That is the simple way of the world. With that in mind, I've decided that the Empire has no future. I'll be investing in Crossbell instead. Of course, you already knew this. I've noticed you trying ever so hard to interfere with my investments. I may have perhaps done that at times, though that was unintentional, I assure you. I merely thought I was correctly reading the times, unlike those other fools. Indeed, I understand what you mean. Thanks to the insufferable Rufus Alberia, I'm at risk of losing everything. I expect the accelerated development of Crossbell, its downtown area, its residential and business infrastructure. If another war breaks out, my work will have been for nothing. We are in the same position, my friend. I don't wish for that any more than you. So I have a proposal. What say you to joining forces yet again? I was just thinking the very same thing. This is no time to squabble over Crossbellian shares. We must put our differences aside if we're going to get through this. Only hotel employees are allowed to pass here for the time being. If you have business beyond here, please speak to one of them. I wonder if some bigwigs visiting. I don't know, but why do they get to decide where we can and can't go? Our VIP suite is often used by both famous Erebonians and distinguished guests from abroad. Vida Quatilde, for example, has stayed here many times. Okay, sure. Sounds great. Can I help you? Oops, sorry, I think I got the wrong room. What's so... Well, who's so big a hotshot here that they need guards for their room? Is it... Nah, it's none of our business. Come on, Nadia, let's eat already. Don't worry, I got you. 2 chocolate banana crepes, please. Got it, 2 specials coming up. If you could give me a few minutes, ladies, I'll whip up a couple of crepes that'll knock your socks off. Yay! I guess it takes a minute because it's a special. Want to walk around a little more to kill time? Can we? That sounds great. Argus and Siege story has been locked for now. You'll need to fulfill certain conditions in order to continue. Okay, we'll get rid of Rean's route as fast as we can. Get over the crappiest part of the story, so we can save the 2 good parts for later. March 17th, Heimdallr Central Station. It seemed like they wanted you to play his story first anyway.
We're finally here.
Damn, is it 10 already?
Sure is. Heimdall's pretty far from Ymir.
Our next target shall be the muck and mire that gathers in the Vermilion City.
The Vermilion City C mentioned can only be Heimdall. But the capital is gigantic. We're going to need some way to narrow our search radius.
You ask me, the racecourse in the Garnier district seems suspicious.
Do they now?
I know. I'll save having fun till our work's done.
I'd be happy to take you anywhere you like once we've ensured Prince Olivert is safe. As long as it's not the kind of shady businesses I know you want to go to.
I got you. Can't very well go to him in uniform.
That's not the problem here, Ash.
We can go for dessert though, right?
Of course. It'll be on me even. Just focus on the investigation first. Let's start with Lady Arie since she's agreed to speak with us.
To the training hall in the Laika district we go then.
Vermilion's Muck and Mire. Rean's Route Act 2. Wish I didn't have to play Rean's Route. This whole crew rubs me the wrong way. The morning after learning from Major Claire of Crossbell's occupation, we set about discussing how we should act. We also established contact with all the members of Class 7 that we could to inform them of the situation. First, there was the matter of Crossbell itself. We knew from the Major's intel that it was under the control of the former Governor General and his Ebon Defense Force. Anxiety over the region's welfare gnawed at us, but as it had been isolated from the outside world, we had no way to learn more. Indeed, there was little we could do on that front for the time being. Then there was the matter of the search for Prince Olivert and his wife. Their whereabouts remain unknown. Furthermore, the Round of 7 system we had used to stay in touch over long distances relied on an artifact stored on the Courageous 2. And with the airship stolen, that meant that method of communication was lost to us. Our only clue, then, was the message sent to the Intelligence Division by C. Vague as it was, the information was undoubtedly our best lead in unraveling the mystery of the prince's disappearance. With hope on the horizon, we set about dividing ourselves into several groups. Major Claire and Juna agreed to head east to get a handle on the situation at Crossbell. Meanwhile, Lord Mateus and Kurt would head west and rendezvous with the students of the Vander School. Lucy volunteered to return to the branch campus to meet up with the principal and her fellow students, as well as seek help from the other sources. The others would all find ways to play to their strengths in aiding our cause. Meanwhile, I was to bring Altina and Ash with me to Heimdallr to follow the trail left to us by C's message.
That is basically our situation as it stands. His Excellency also asked us to tell you that he hopes you'll be able to look after the hall in his extended absence.
Thank you for updating me on everything going on.
Hardier Wunder.
It's the least we could do. Your husband did a lot for us.
More like put us through the goddamn ringer.
All while shrugging off our attacks like we were nothing more than a bunch of buzzing mosquitoes. He sent Kurt flying off a cliff, too. I found him quite terrifying.
I do hope he didn't leave you with any lasting trauma. Still, his is a measured hand. If he came at you that fiercely, he trusted you could handle it. I hope you can understand that he only did what he did because he saw potential in all of you.
We do, don't worry. Yeah, we could tell he wasn't acting with any ill will. If anything, I'm the one with a reputation for being a stern disciplinarian around here. Based on how often I see my students quake at the knees, I'd wager they fear me more than my husband. We got wind of that when we were here for one of our field exercises. Kurt's got some monster parents. Surprised the guy ain't half Tamartian or something. In the time I spent with him, it was clear there was much more to him than his stern presence on the battlefield. He was kind enough to share some wisdom with me, too. Was he now? He's a man of few words, so that's very unusual. I can't picture that happening at all. Same here. Please don't speak rudely about the man in front of his wife, you two. Don't worry, I appreciate their honesty. Still, I'm glad to see that you all seem even more united as a class than you did when you were last here. Do continue to look after my Kurt, won't you? Of course. We would, even if we weren't asked to. And if he wants help getting into the good kind of trouble, I'm his guy. Getting back to why we're here. Has anything out of the ordinary happened in the capital recently? The students who were here have split up across Erebonia to search for information on Prince Oliver's whereabouts. As such, I'm not as well informed on the situation here in Heimdallr as I would be. But there's one thing I feel is worth mentioning. What is that? It feels as though there are more people coming and going than there should be, especially given how there are no festivals or celebrations here around this time of year. It's making the capital feel more restless than usual, differently from how it did during the summer festival. It's as though there's something stagnant in the air. I'll be glad not to have to deal with any more Calvert spies like at the festival, that's for sure. But stagnant air is all you're going to get in the city to begin with. You feel anything out of whack, Schwarzer? Not especially, if I'm honest. I'm guessing it's a relatively slight difference, ma'am. Yes, it may even just be my imagination. You've lived in Heimdallr for a long time. If something feels amiss to you, it likely is. We'll keep that in mind as we investigate. I'm sorry I can't provide you with any more concrete information. There is one thing I can do, however. I'd like to introduce you to someone dependable to aid your investigation. Oh? Well, I say introduce, but you in particular know her very well. She should be here any moment now. Ah, there we are.
May I come in?
I think I know who that is.
I suspected as much.
By all means.
Elie Schwarzer.
Elise.
Hello, everyone. It's good to see you all again. The same to you.
So she's our little helper, huh?
Indeed. Sister to Rean, friend to Princess Alphen, and head of Saint Astraya's student council. The noble Elie Schwarzer herself.
The princess and Muse have already apprised me of the situation. So I spoke with Lady Aurier and volunteered to aid you upon your arrival. I apologize if my behavior strikes you as meddlesome, but I am certain that I will be able to aid you in your investigation. You do know more about the capital than any of us.
You're not coming, and that's final.
But...
Out comes the big brother.
There's still far too much we don't know about the situation here. Given that our enemies pilfered the name of the Imperial Liberation Front, we could very well be dealing with terrorists. Involving a civilian in this would be downright irresponsible.
So I'm just a civilian, am I? Just a no-good student without a mote of power to her name?
That's not what I'm trying to...
Oh, I think it is. But even leaving that aside, your blunt dismissal misses an important point.
And what point is that?
That the situation at hand doesn't relate to me, when I am Princess Alphen's dearest friend.
But that is that, and this is...
As we speak, she is racked with worry over her brother's well-being. Yet, as the matter is confidential, she has to feign a smile and act as though everything is normal. She cannot cast her responsibilities aside and aid in the search herself either. And because she cannot, I will do so in her place. If I just sit by idly while she suffers in silence and do nothing to alleviate her burden, I won't be fit to call myself her friend ever again.
Elise.
Looks like you lose this one, Schwarzer.
You realize both of them are Schwarzer in this context.
If I may, I think you would do well to put your trust in her here. Her skill with a rapier is formidable.
That may be so, but...
I have toiled long and hard to master the art of fencing passed down through our family. Of late, I have even grown under Lady Aurier's tutelage. And far from letting my pen rest while my sword hand improves, I have overcome many a challenge as student council president. I am no longer a cowering child in need of your protection, dear brother.
All right. Ash called this one right. You win.
Then...
We'll be glad to have your assistance. But if things get dangerous, I want you to do as I say. Deal?
Deal!
I wish you all well in your investigation. Please, do be careful. Should I catch wind of anything you hear, I'll let you know immediately.
Thank you. We appreciate it.
Then let us set off. I will do my best not to overextend myself and leave you all to carry the burden. But please, if you are truly in need, I hope you won't hesitate to tell me. For even I possess a strength that you can lean on.
Thanks. It's good to know you've got my back.
And the feeling is mutual.
Let's see, what to do next. We have to meet up with the rest of our friends who've come to the capital. There's still plenty of time before our scheduled gathering. No point in rushing then. Shall we patrol the district and gather some intelligence? That way we can meet with the others along the way. Given your familiarity with the area, that certainly sounds like the most efficient plan. That reminds me, apparently the violin nerd we're supposed to meet up with is from here. Right, Elliot hasn't been on tour, so he's been working in the city. Machias is from the capital, too. Machias, Alyssa, Toa, and Sharon. I hope they're doing all right. I'm sure they are. For now, let's focus on what we can do. You're right, Rean. When I got drafted, I was shocked by how wimpy I was. I really ought to work out. That way I could at least protect my own self. This district is always busting at the seams with tourists, but even some months later, things still aren't quite back to normal. Hey, what's going on? I saw Princess Alphen drop by the other day for inspections. She must be terribly busy with her post-war responsibilities, not to mention the matter with the Crown Prince, but she's lovely as ever. And the Prince got married not too long ago himself. The royal family never fails to put a smile on my face. Yeah, okay. How? Why are there so many different kinds of fishing gear? Now, you're going to have to rough it out here if that's what's vexing you. Huh? Well, if it ain't the folks from Erin. Oh, hey, it's the Ashen Awakener and friends. What a small world. As a matter of fact, his sister Nina passed her test to become a wandering witch. Since she may end up traveling the outside world, Marjorie and I have been showing her the ropes. And while we're at it, we figured we'd drag her little brother along to see the outside world too. I might end up being a big help to Nina. Oh, and just to be clear, I did a ton of studying to make sure I can get by here. I had no idea. You've really been going at it for the past several months. And by the way, even I can sense mana when I use the pendulum Lady Rose gave me. I've been feeling a weird presence in that huge building over there. Can we really leave it like that? Oh, strange presence. Pay it no mind. I was planning on checking out the museum anyway. But I gotta babysit this twerp, so my hands are more than full. Hey, what's that supposed to mean? Gotcha. We'll see if we can take care of it ourselves. During the war, anomalies manifested in the bodies of water throughout the entire empire. Thankfully, in tandem with the Fishermen's Guild, we've since determined that the water quality has seemingly returned to normal. Speaking of the Fishermen's Guild, I can only wonder how they're doing these days. With Crossbell occupied again, I fear they can't go out fishing. Or at the very least, that is tremendously hard to do so. Just the thought of it sends shivers down my spine. I pray the poor people there are soon freed, so they can cast their lines and feast them once more. Right, of course. The fish aren't going to catch themselves. She sure has unique concerns about the situation there. During the war, I suffered huge losses as a result of the contributions I was obligated to make as a noble. But as long as I've got this trusty rod here, I'm okay. Fishing for me is simply a part of life. Look at this silk line. It's cheap but pliable. All I need to have a good day of fishing. Hey, look who just stepped in. Well, I'll be. It isn't the Ashen Chevalier and his comrades. Your timing couldn't be more perfect. We were just reading a letter from Kenneth and Lady Annabelle. Wow, that's funny. Last I heard, those two were off on a fishing journey across the continent. That they are. From what it says here, they're in Liberal now. They're having the time of their lives, fishing themselves silly. Seems quite the educational trip, too. Kenneth's making progress in his report, analyzing aquatic ecosystems. To be so young and full of energy. I can't wait for the two of them to come back and regale me with tales of their exploits. Definitely. I'm sure he'll return twice the fisherman he was when he left. He might even prove useful with that new enterprise of yours. You mean my water quality management initiative? True. The more data we have, the better we can appropriately manage a wide array of different environments. I already have William helping me out. He's heading out east, as well as the Fishermen's Guild. But if we can get Kenneth and Miss Annabelle to pitch in without interrupting their journey, that'll be even better. That's what I think. In fact, I bet they'll be all too eager to lend you a hand. Crossbell really seemed to be finding its feet. It's a shame to see it fall on hard times again with that United Nations business. I hope the members of the Fishermen's Guild aren't having too tough a time over there. Even I know that's wishful thinking, though. Yeah, as much as I hate to admit it. I was going to offer my congratulations to them all, but then former Governor Rufus had to throw a wrench into everything. Everyone at the Lake Lord Company sounds just as concerned about what's going on as everyone else. We've got to keep making progress on our own investigation over here for the sake of those in Crossbell, too. It's all that dialogue from a bunch of fishermen. This game. Greetings, welcome to the Rivelt Company. Believe it or not, I got this job because Kalinka put in a good word for me. As far as I know, she's out performing at Matter Park today. If you have time, you should stop by and have a listen. Once the war ended, I decided to try picking up the harmonica for the heck of it. Before long, I'd found quite an affinity for it. Now that I'm good enough to play using a sheet music, I decided to come here to buy some more. The obvious choice is definitely Amber Armor, but it's so hard to choose. Well, good as me, it's the fine ladies and gentlemen of Thor's. Master Michael and Lady Claire have told me bits and pieces of what you've all been up to. Oh, the Major's been by recently? Indeed, she's taken showing herself here now as her work permits. I have to imagine it's because all that happened, harrowing as it most certainly was. With she and her cousin now on good terms again, it seems she can finally let go of her painful past and start moving forward. I see. Glad to hear it. Even without knowing every detail, it was a really complicated situation. I'm just happy it was able to resolve so amicably. Yeah, I mean, sure. If it isn't Rean in Class 7, and this would be your younger sister, right? Hi everyone, I never thought you all would be dropping in like this. Hold on a minute. Hey everyone, I never thought you all would be dropping in like this. Sorry to barge in. It's good to see you again, Emily. You too, Teresa. Hello, my name is Lloyd Schwarzer. It's a pleasure to meet you both. If I remember correctly, you both serve in the Imperial Air Force, yes? Are you here because of the incident in Crossbell? Good guess, but not quite. We're being transferred to the Joint Staff Office on recommendation from Supreme Commander Van Dyck. You are? That's great news, timing-wise. Though something tells me there's more to the story than that. Well, leave it to Rean to be as sharp as a tack. Something smells fishy, and it ain't the Rixia aqueduct. We'd love to tell you what we know, honest, but it's still being treated as with top secrecy, even within the military. We promise we'll compare notes with you when the time comes, though. Good enough for me. I'll look forward to it. With that out of the way, yeah, I'm pretty worried about what's happening in Crossbell. I know Alyssa's probably okay, but the fact that we haven't heard from her doesn't make it easier. Yeah, I'm with you. We're in the dark thanks to the intelligence division being scaled back. It's so frustrating. All we can do is believe that she's somewhere safe right now and is okay. That's how I felt too. I know the friends we have there will never lose hope, no matter how grim the odds are. I can't imagine the old Class 7 being phased now of all times. You're right. There's no point in wringing our hands right now. Let's just do what we can from over here for now. That's right. There may be tough times ahead, so look after yourselves and don't push too hard. What a treat it is to have Teresa come by. I was starting to worry. She's been so busy since the war ended. Still, it's good to know both our girls are doing well. I'm so happy. I think I'm going to flex my baking muscles and make lots of cookies. It's rare enough for Emily to find the time to come home, but I didn't expect to see Teresa too. Still, Mom's enthusiasm is beginning to concern me. At this rate, she'll make more cookies than we could ever eat. Things in the army appear to be as hectic as ever, but at least the girls seem to be in good spirits. Today's going to be a good day, I reckon. It's even more lively than usual around here, and that always cheers me up. Nobody upstairs, is there? Okay. to check. Excuse me. The results of the award ceremony were delayed due to the war, but they finally come to light. Nope. And don't tell me I placed in top 3. Let's see. You placed 6th in the up-and-coming authors category. Holy questionable placement, but hey, I'll take it. I knew it. I knew I could do it if I tried. You're talking to an official up-and-comer, Theodore. Congratulations. As your childhood friend, I knew you had it in you. Even if I had to kick your butt up and down the street on numerous occasions because you called it quits. I went so far as to manage your manuscript schedule and make you apologize for the relevant parties, but it worked out in the end. I owe you one, Theodore. Hey, you have your own work to thank. I merely provided assistance. If you truly want to thank me, you'll manage your own progress and deadlines better next time. Got it? Yes, sir.
Should we check the Imperial Museum while we're here?
Wouldn't hurt to poke our noses inside. My old upperclassmen might even be on shift.
Here we are, the Imperial Museum. There don't seem to be many visitors today.
If it isn't Rean. Haven't seen you around here since the branch campus's field exercises.
Hey, Dorothy. Good to see you. How's work been treating you?
Pretty good, all things considered. Actually, my publisher's been pushing me to become a full-time author after how well my latest novel sold. But I like my work as a curator too, so I don't think I'm ready to quit just yet.
That's great. Always nice to have options.
And there's the other reason. I don't want to go into writing full-time. I'd probably become a total shut-in. I'd miss out on all this. I find the best way to seek inspiration is to observe daily life. People. Watching. So to speak. Why, as I was on my way home from work the other day, I spotted a budding flower at the nearby cafe that caught my eye. My mind went wild, imagining the experiences that could end the precarious final days of his youth. I can't keep doing this. My nose is going to bleed all over my blouse again at this rate. It's no wonder why Her Highness sees you as a kindred spirit. Oh, and it's good to see you again, Ash. I've been wanting to give you an update on the joint publication between our old literature club and yours. All that's left to gather is a collection of poems by none other than yourself. Tatiana and I haven't given up hope that you'll submit them yet. Lay off, will you? I told you I'll do it when I feel like it. It's only a matter of time before he gives in. No doubt. So, what brings you all to the capital today? Does it have something to do with that Ebon Defense Force group that occupied Crossbell? Doesn't seem like she's heard anything about Prince Oliver and Lady Shara. Yeah, something like that. By the way, is it just me, or are there fewer visitors here than normal? You noticed. Actually, the museum's put a restriction on the number of visitors allowed at once recently. Something came up that has us concerned. Concerned? What do you mean? You remember the museum is connected to a tunnel that leads to Heimdaller's catacombs, right? We've been hearing what sounds like voices coming from that direction lately. It's kind of scary. I would imagine. Do you think it could be monsters? Maybe, but if anything, it sounds more like a ghost, something completely unnatural. I dusted off my old orbital staff to take a look down there before, but I didn't come across any signs of monsters. A ghost, huh? You expect us to believe that bullshit? Might I remind you that we experienced monsters and magic and a magic night down here recent. Might not remind you that we experienced monsters and a magic night down there already. Not to mention this was a spot of the Dark Dragon's nest appeared before the Great Twilight. Something abnormal happening again is now the question. Come to think of it, Instructor Sarah told us she dropped by here a couple weeks ago. I wasn't there at the time, but the head curator told me as much. There apparently was a break-in, so she came to investigate. I don't think there's anything to do with the noises we've been hearing, though. Perhaps, but it wouldn't hurt to keep in mind. We should begin our investigation soon. I did put a formal request in with the guild already, but I guess they're swamped with other things right now. They said it'll be a while before they can get around to it. That's a shame, but I'm not surprised that they would be busy. Right, but we can't afford to just let the situation go unchecked. Would you mind if we looked into it, Dorothy? Not at all. We really appreciate it. Man, this is going to be a pain in the ass, but I guess it's better than letting this place get done in by poltergeist or something. Whether the cause is paranormal or not, I think this will be worth our time. Agreed. I agree. There's a possibility that we could discover something that pertains to our current investigation. In that case, you should take this. Receive the museum basement key. It's just over there, to the left of the main exhibit. Thank you, and do be careful. We will be. The main exhibit, really? Right, well, we stop it there. This is audap, I'm watching The Legend of Heroes, Trails into Reverie, running on PlayStation 5. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed watching. I will see you at the next stream.